Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. That was Midnight Rambler by the Rolling Stones. Why didn't I know that? Then we started off with Arctic Monkey from their first album, 4 out of 5. And it is 12 after 12 bells on a Tuesday. I'm here with my guest, Lou Gramm, original lead singer of Foreigner. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Thanks. Same here.
Yeah, you're American.
Yes, I am.
For some reason, I thought you were English. I don't know why.
No, the original Foreigner was 3 Brits, 3 Americans, and I was one of the Americans.
Ah. So why did they call it Foreigner then?
Because whether we were in Europe
There's foreigners.
or in America,
Yeah.
the band would still be Foreigners, yes.
It's funny how names stick.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When you first hear them, like, that's naff. But if you say it enough, they become okay.
Well, before Foreigner came around as a name, we were ready to call ourselves Trigger. And I think Mick thought of that, and he was thinking of this, but I was thinking of me. You know,
Yeah. Roy Rogers is old.
Yes. And I says, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you're back going to do a few shows.
Yeah, it's the celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Double Vision album. It's probably about 42 or 43 years now.
Yeah.
But we're doing shows in California, and a show in New Jersey and Connecticut.
Yeah. You play. It's this Friday, November 9th, at the Microsoft Theatre in downtown LA, and also Saturday, November 10th, at the Agora. I can't even bleed and say it. It's a casino in Rancho Mirage.
That's south of here, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And then you're doing a couple on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll see about next year.
And you haven't been singing in general in a while?
I have been. When Mick and I parted company in 2003, I put my own band together, and I've been touring every summer since.
Yeah. So you've been active then?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why did you just have enough of Foreigner?
I think.
Or is it typical band situations where you start hating each other?
Yeah, well, I wasn't hating each other. I was not crazy about the direction of the band.
Right.
And I mean, we were at odds with the direction, and him being the leader of the band, you know, it was pretty much known that it was, you know, it's going to be that way. So
yeah.
I opted out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you co-write? Did you write songs or just sing?
I wrote probably about 75-80% of the songs with Mick.
Sorry for being ignorant. I didn't
No,
know.
that's quite all right.
Wow. Okay, so you got a nice house then?
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
5 dogs and a Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you started Foreigner, what was you doing before that? Was you in many bands?
I was in a band called Black Sheep in the early 70s, and we were signed first to Chrysalis and then to Capitol Records, and we had 2 albums out that were released, and we were set to open for Kiss on a big tour, and we played Boston Academy of Music on the first night of the tour, and we drove back home to Rochester from Boston that night. It was Christmas Eve, and our truck slid off the New York State Thruway and tipped over and destroyed all of our equipment.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get Capitol Records to front us for equipment. We couldn't get our parents to front us for equipment. So we lost our spot on the Kiss tour after one show,
Yeah.
and then Capitol Records dropped us.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the band. About 3 months later, Mick Jones called.
Yeah. So I guess funny how things work out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it definitely is.
Do you believe in kind of cosmic stuff like that?
To a degree, yeah. Because
Yeah.
when he called me first, I told him thanks for calling, but I'm in a band already.
And he left it at that?
Well, he
Because
said,
most people don't care. They're like,
Yeah.
so what? Here's a better gig.
yeah, he said, okay. He says, I understand. I'll call you back in about a month. And the insurance company still hadn't settled with us for the truck or the insurance. We couldn't play if we wanted to. So I told the guys in my band about Mick's offer to come and audition, and they said, you don't have to have any loyalty to this. We're not even a band anymore.
Yeah.
Go see what you can do. So I did.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Did you write I Want to Know What Love Is?
Why are you asking me that?
I don't know. No reason. Is it a weird subject or something?
I had some contributions in that song.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what songs you wrote.
I co-wrote "Cold as Ice," co-wrote "Double Vision," "Head Games," "Dirty White Boy,"
Jukebox Hero.
"Jukebox Hero." Actually, that was actually.
Can we change the name of that to Jonesy's Jukebox Hero?
You got it. Yeah,
Please.
Yeah, that was my idea. I presented to Mick, and he liked it. So. Jonesy's Jukebox. That would have worked for him too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's why you didn't use it.
I figure that's enough.
That's why. Amazing. Should we play a song? Should we play Jonesy's Jukebox Hero? We're here with Lou Gramm, a foreigner. Jonesy's Jukebox, Cal-O-S, take it away. Jukebox, Cal-O-S. Oh, that was Blue Morning, Blue Day.
Blue Morning, Blue Day.
And my guest is Lou Gramm, original lead singer, a foreigner. I'm just saying what it says here. I can just call you Lou if you want.
It's okay.
I'm
I
sure.
could read that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go on then. Promote yourself.
Yes. I am Lou Gramm, original lead singer, foreigner.
Do you want to say where you're playing?
Oh, yes. KLOS presents Double Vision, Foreigner Then and Now, a celebration concert with all current and original members, Friday, November 9th at the Microsoft Theater in downtown L.A., and Saturday, November 10th at the Agua
I couldn't say it.
Caliente Casino in Rancho Mirage.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. You can't read it.
Agua.
That's water, isn't
Agua.
it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Agua Dulce is a place out in off the 14, and it's I don't know what Dulce is. Oh, I don't bloody know. Something to do with water.
I think isn't it square dancing, Dulce Do?
I don't know.
Dulce Do, your partner.
Yeah. Our manager our ex-manager from the Sex Pistols had a song that he'd had that in a line. He was doing hip hop stuff. Buffalo Girls.
Yes.
Buffalo's Girls, round the outside. Dulce Do, your partner.
Yes, I remember. I love that album.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Funny. You've always been an East Coast guy?
I have been, yes. Born and raised.
Yeah. Not where you are now,
Yes,
but
yes. When I joined Foreigner, I moved to Westchester County, just above Manhattan, and that's where our drummer Dennis Elliott, lived there, and we used to ride in and out of Manhattan to rehearse.
yeah.
You know.
Because he lived in Manhattan, Mr. Jones?
Yes, Mr. Jones did. Ian McDonald did. I think Al Greenwood lived in Queens, and Ed, I believe, lived in Queens too.
Yeah. And then before that was Jukebox Hero. Beautiful.
Thanks.
You guys must get a lot of pennies from airplay. You got to be one of the most on rock stations. You since day one, right? You was a real radio band.
I think so, yeah. And surprisingly enough, you know, even though the current rock stations only play the current artists, I guess we're still in a decent rotation on classic rock radio.
Yeah. So, Mutt Lange, when Mutt Lange just finished doing the Back in Black.
Yes, we were waiting for him to finish up so we could start. And so he flew over from Australia, and we began working on 404.
Yeah.
And there were times when it would be 2 or 3 in the morning, and all the other members of the band would go home, and it was just Mick and Mutt and myself. So Mutt would pick up the bass, and Mick would strap on the guitar, and I was a drummer for many years. So I'd get on the set of drums, and the three of us would jam.
Did anything come of that?
Well, we jammed Jukebox Hero.
But I mean, did you record it like that, or just getting the ideas?
Just get the ideas.
Yeah.
But then after we got off the instruments, he was telling me, he says now he says on that chorus of Jukebox Hero, he says, I want you way up there. And I says, Mutt, I says I've got a pretty good range. I said, but I like to add in the mids and the lows and the highs for contrast. I says, to me it sounds like you're trying to get me to sing like Bon or Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
I says, who I really love and respect. I says, but that's not me.
Yeah.
You know, I says I can hit those notes all day. I says, but I'm who I am. I says, so respect that, please.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. Was he? Was he? Would you call him a perfectionist in the studio?
A perfectionist and
more.
And very driven.
Yeah. But he's, he knew
Look at the results.
He knew his stuff.
Yes, he did. I mean, he had a string of major albums at a certain point. No matter who he produced, they went big.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, when you're doing it, you're like, oh, this guy's driving me insane. But once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, I'm thinking, is this ever going to be over?
Yeah. Yeah. I
mean, we went so far over our time limit and our budget in 404 that our manager came in and started showing us the accounting.
How much it's costing.
Yes,
yeah.
and we almost fell over. It was
we're never going to make any money.
Yes, so much. We had to sell jillions to break even.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah. So it was worth it in the long run.
It was worth it, and except I mean, we were on tour for a year and a half too.
Like crazy.
Like crazy.
Touring. Yeah.
Just by the time that tour was over, we were physically and mentally spent.
Do you think it's record companies that do that push you like that? Because you hear that in a lot of documentaries from like 70s, that they would just at all times, they just put you out on the road. You just go along with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're pushing you, but they're not. They say they're not pushing you for themselves. They're pushing you for you.
You.
Yes.
We're here for you.
And then, of course, your manager backs them up.
Of course. He always sides with where the money's coming from. He never side with you.
That's so funny.
Unbelievable. What's that great line Richie Blackmore always says? He says, a manager, if you're doing well, it's like, yeah, we're doing so good. And if you ain't, it's like, they ain't doing that good.
We're doing, what do you mean, we?
Yeah. Amazing, man. So I forgot what I was going to say to you.
So let me tell you a quick story about when we were doing Urgent.
See?
From the 404 album.
Go on.
Okay. We had the song. We were rehearsing. We had the song. The arrangement of the song mostly done, and we had recorded a few demo versions of it. And then actually we recorded the whole song, but there was a lead section, a 16-bar lead section, that Mick tried guitar on it. We tried a keyboard on it, and it was okay, but it just didn't fit the bill. And so we took a break and we started just leafing through the Village Voice. And I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody said, "Hey, Junior Walker's right down the street." And we just looked at each other. Nobody said anything. We got our coats on, because it was January.
Mm-hmm.
We walked down the street and caught the end of his last set, and his son was drumming for him, Junior's son, and when he was done, we asked the son if we could talk to his pop. Junior came over. We introduced ourselves and asked him if he would be interested in playing on one of our songs. I don't think he, we told him who. I don't think
He didn't know.
No name recognition
Yeah.
wasn't exactly there, but he came over and so he took out his sax and warmed up, and went into a booth. He heard the song a couple times, and he played a solo. And when he was done, he says, "Okay, that's it." He started taking apart his sax. Whoa, Junior! No, wait, Junior.
Who said that? Producer?
Yes, that was Mutt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Junior, wait. That was so good, man. Can you do another one? But not sweet soul, Junior. Not the sweet soul you were doing lately. We want you to really honk like Shotgun.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, you want that, huh?" So he did another one, and then he did another one, and we had about 4 or 5 of them that he did, 5 passes of the solo. And then he says, look, guys, he says, "I'm tired, I've got to go." So he put his horn away, and we thanked him profusely, and he left, and we listened to the 5 solos, and we took the first 8 bars of one solo that went in perfectly to the 8 bars of his third solo, and we made that solo on urgent by certain sections of each solo,
Yeah.
and it flowed perfectly, and it really ripped.
Yeah.
And so the best part is when the song went flying up the charts.
He heard it.
Oh, he heard it. He loved it. And
Did he think that was all one take?
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And so we went to on the tour for 404, we performed at the Forum,
Got
and
up.
we called him up and asked him if he'd come up and play, and we weren't sure
Yeah.
if he was going to play Sweet Soul or
Yeah.
what he was going to do, and he was dressed in a fluorescent purple suit.
Yeah.
That when the lights hit it, it would turn colors and
Yeah.
stuff. And he came up there, and we played the song. And when the sax solo part came, he played it note for note.
Like on the record.
Yes.
He'd obviously done his own work.
Yeah. Well, that was him who played that solo.
Yeah.
That was. I don't know what take that was, but that was one of his solos.
Now, do you think people knew who he was when he got up and played?
Oh, I do. Yeah, we introduced him
Yeah.
as he was coming on,
Yeah.
and people went ballistic.
Yeah.
And after the song, again, we introduced him again, and there was a lot of appreciation.
Yeah. Who's some of your favourite singers? Paul Rodgers?
Paul Rogers, Steve Winwood, Steve Marriott.
Yeah. I love Marriott.
Yes, me too.
He had the most soul in his voice.
Oh, dear Lord.
And he could hit some high notes too.
Yep.
He was a great guitar player too.
Yes,
a lot
he
of
was.
people don't give him credit.
Rhythm
yeah.
guitar, but he had a lot of style to it too.
Yeah.
I think he was the big cog in that band.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Did you like Frankie Miller?
Yes, very much. Miller highlight that album.
He had a great voice.
Yes, he did.
Rod Stewart.
I like Rod Stewart too. I love Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. So that's your bag, like 60s, like Otis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And Paul and Steve Winwood and
Did you sing along in the bedroom to Otis Redding or Sam Cooke
yeah, I sang along to all of them.
with the broomstick?
Yes, as a matter of fact,
I used to too.
we had a
Mime to it.
yes, a little patio on the back of our house. It was about 4 by 6, and that's where we had our record player.
Mhm.
And I used to put those records on, and I did have a broom, and I used to, because I'd seen them on Dick Clark or something,
Yeah.
and I started
Doing the moves.
doing the moves, and singing.
Yeah. I used to have a mirror I used to do it in to see what I looked like. I was obsessed with doing it. But
It was fun, wasn't it?
yeah, but I couldn't sing.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't then
But
either.
I knew I was going to be something. I didn't know what. I was obsessed with the Faces, Rod
Oh,
Stewart
boy.
and the Faces.
You know, up until a couple of years ago, we were still doing a version of Tin Soldier.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite all-time
That's Small
songs.
Faces.
Yes, the Small Faces.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that song.
that's a brilliant song. They had a bunch of great
Yep.
songs with
Itchy Park.
yeah, Ronnie Lane, late Ronnie Lane, late Ian McLagan.
And the guitar player was
It was Marriott.
married. He was the lead guitar player too.
He
right?
was the only guitar player.
He's the only guitar player.
They had
yeah.
the keyboard player, which
Yes.
was Ian McLagan.
Yeah, that was that.
Ronnie Lane on
was
bass.
that a Hohner or something?
Well-
Wurlitzer.
Yeah, but I think he had a Leslie too.
Yeah, it had that real reedy sound though.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of Tin Soldier. That's a beautiful sound.
Yeah, and I think that was mono. That
Yes,
stuff.
it was. Who was drumming then?
Kenny Jones.
Kenny Jones.
Joneses, man.
They're there again.
What do you think about this for an idea? Kenny Jones on drums, Steve Jones on guitar, John Paul Jones on bass,
And Lou Jones on lead vocal.
or Tom Jones. And you call the band Keeping Up with the Joneses. Wouldn't it be funny if you just went in there and just see what happens
Yeah.
in the studio?
Or not even the studio. Do it live.
Just do anything.
Yep.
Okay, go.
Keeping up with the Joneses. I like it.
We're going to play Urgent. We're here with Lou Gramm, original lead singer of Foreigner.
Yes, sir.
And you're listening to KLOS, Jonesy's Jukebox. Take it away. You're listening to Jonesy. Excuse me. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox at KLOS. That was free. Fire and Water Live from Isle of Wight.
That's correct.
And before that was Small Faces, Tin Soldier, beautiful. And then we started off with Foreigner, Urgent. And we're here with Lou Gramm, who's got a gig Friday, November 6th at the Microsoft Theatre in downtown LA with the original lineup.
That's correct, yeah.
And Foreigner. And on Saturday, you better say this one, on Saturday at the bottom.
That's November 10th at Agua Caliente Casino in Rancho Mirage.
You nailed it. You nailed it, man. That was it. That was the one I was struggling with. And, yeah. So, you was just saying, in between playing free, that you saw them.
Yes, at the New York Academy of Music. I think it was in 72, 71 or 72. And they were the opening act for, I think it was Dr. Hook and Edgar Winter.
Yeah.
And they only were able to play 50 minutes, like an opening act, you know.
Yeah.
But they brought the house down. My friends and I were up in the balcony, and we could actually feel the balcony moving.
Yeah.
You know, and we were huge fans for a number of years, and to finally hear the original band live
Yeah.
was really fulfilled dreams, honestly.
Yeah.
And they were everything we hoped they'd be.
Yeah. I think I saw them in 71, 72. I can't remember where it was. It could have been a festival. But I was always a big fan. Of course, when you hear All Right Now, you
dear.
can't go wrong.
It's the perfect pop rock song.
Yeah. And I still never get bored. If it comes on the radio, I still listen to it. There's a longer version too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
With
That's
the lead.
that's the live one.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
They were. I mean, Paul Rogers and Andy Frazier were a great songwriting team. Great
Yeah.
songwriting team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever hear from the Free Heartbreak album? My
What?
brother
My Brother Jake is a
Yes,
great song.
Yep.
Totally
And-
different.
Yes. And I believe
A little bit of
if
love.
you give
A little bit of love.
bit of love. Yep.
Fantastic.
Great stuff. Just phenomenal stuff.
So when you was growing up, it's just, I just want to know, like, when you was a teenager, who was you listening to?
I was listening to everybody, you know, but the Beatles really did it for me.
Yeah.
They were just so creative and so interesting to listen to.
So how old was you when the Beatles were going?
I saw them on Ed Sullivan when I was 12 years old.
Yeah. And is that the first time you was introduced to them by seeing them on the TV?
Yes,
And what was your feeling? This is what I want to do.
That's exactly right. I think the next time they were on Ed Sullivan, after they were done, I looked at my mom and dad, who were sitting there kind of not thrilled, but not totally put off either, you know.
Because they had long hair.
Yeah, but I said, this is what I want to do, and they looked at each other like I was, you know, I needed some psychiatric care.
Generations, man.
Yeah,
Generations. Your parents are not meant to like what you like.
But you know, my dad played trumpet in his own big band, and my mom was the singer, so he had those
Knowledge.
feelings too, you know.
Yeah.
He couldn't not know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
He may not have liked the style of music, but the desire was still the same.
Yeah. But it's just the way it goes. I mean, do you have kids?
I have kids, yes.
Did you like what they like?
Yeah, so.
See, exactly. There you go. It's the cycle of life. And
I've got older kids, 39 and 36, and they're not musically inclined. They like music, but they're not musically inclined. Then I've got 19-year-old twins, boy and a girl, and my son played piano, drums, and banjo. My daughter played piano and violin, and I'd go hear their recitals. And when they got into 10th grade of high school, they started 10th grade, they quit everything. They just dropped every piece of music, and they were in the choir, and they dropped that too.
did that annoy you?
It shocked the heck out of me,
Yeah.
you know. But I thought about it, and then I thought to myself, would I wish on them the type of life I've had to live? And I said, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did they both stopped at the same time?
Yes.
Because they're twins. So why did they was just doing it for you, or
No, they really enjoyed it, but they suddenly dropped that and turned their attention to sports.
Okay. You know what's funny? I just got to bring this up while you're here. I was watching a Packer game on Sunday. It was an NFL.
I watch it.
The Green Bay Packer and
Yes.
your neck of the woods,
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
No, was it Buffalo?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Buffalo. And I heard Pretty Vacant. They played the intro to Pretty Vacant, which was a Sex Pistols
Yes.
song. I'm like, wow, I've never heard that. That's incredible.
They
Keep
only
playing it.
play little bits of it, though, right?
Well, just before the singing came in, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of the build-up.
Yes.
You know, you get like "We Will Rock You" and there's
Well, as the team's running out on the field or something like
I
that?
don't know. I didn't see it. My buddy told me, so I quickly put it on, seeing if they're going to catch it. I didn't catch it, but then I saw a few Twitters by people. I can't believe it. I just heard this
That's
song.
very cool.
Yeah, bring it on, man. I like that. Do you guys ever have any G the fans up music, like any foreigner songs that they would play in?
Oh yeah, they would play the beginning of Hot Blooded.
Yeah.
King, 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 king,
Yeah.
king, you know.
Right, see, it's got the thing where it gets you going. That's good.
And I remember our hockey team skating out from their dressing rooms to dan 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 dan, urge it, you know.
Yeah. Now, do you know if do you get paid if they play that? Like if
I think so, yeah.
it comes under an umbrella, right? If it's,
Yes.
If it's after or whatever it is,
Yep.
they can play what they want because it comes under that thing. But you know what's funny is, you know that song by Jack White, dun 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
Fans do it, so they're not playing the music, but that's like been played a million times. Like fans all over the world at
Wow.
soccer teams, at soccer matches, they all sing along with it.
I remember the one from Gary. Dun, 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 dun.
Gary Glitter.
Gary Glitter,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, that was a big one.
Yeah, sure, that
Rock
sure was.
and roll, hey.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's in jail, that guy.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was a fiddler. Listen, thanks for coming by.
I enjoyed myself a lot.
I'm glad you did.
Can we do this again?
Yes, sir, please. I command it. We're going to visit the Duke. That was Lou Graham. And we're going to have another hour of rock and roll. See you in a minute.